Alrighty, let's all grab a beer or a cocktail, maybe something else, depending what state you people are in to smoke. Me personally, I am two Modelo's deep. Gonna be a holiday weekend. Any of you people out there celebrate Easter? Happy Easter, along with myself. If you have a different holiday that you are currently still currently celebrating, holy crap! Only 2 beers a day. Although I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning, so maybe that's giving me a little extra buzz. Whatever holiday you are selling other than Easter, even if you aren't celebrating a holiday, hopefully you have a good time with family, friends, and you're just not doing anything alone, especially if you don't need to be. Okay, so Mullen did some interesting stuff today. We're gonna cover all the premise, see if there's any new, just go through the daily check. Even though I did this early this morning around 8 o'clock, but we're on oh god, what's wrong with this website? Let's go. We're on Stock Titan, although for some reason my browser is completely frozen. What is your problem? Okay, let's go ahead and refresh SEC. No new SEC filings from Mullen. Let's close this shit. Stock Titan again. Can we refresh? Okay, good. Refresh. No news today from Mullen on Stock Titan. Trust me, I was refreshing it like a hot knife on butter. It's every 5 or so minutes. Benzinga. It does not. I'm pretty sure if David bought any shares, I'm pretty sure there would be an SEC filing that would be done. So the only news article that came out is from Investor. I don't trust any of these news articles at all. Investor Place, especially. It's my personal opinion. They have just been. They probably didn't do this on purpose, but who really knows? They ended up trapping me. In the past 2 years with Mullen, they've trapped a lot of people. I've read articles. I bought more shares on Mullen, thinking bullish, and then Mullen just continues crashing down. So, therefore, I personally would not look at any of these articles, anything that doesn't have news in them. But then again, if Mullen were to drop news, it would appear on Stock Time first before actually anything else would be done. Okay, so I pretty much searched everything. Let me double check. No, I actually just did. There's nothing really exposing on X, Twitter. David hasn't posted anything new, so the only reason that I do agree, and Business Dad just uploaded a new video. I actually just got done watching it. It's very true. So, Business Dad basically is talking about the Keltner channel. I personally don't use the Keltner channel. I use EMAs, but I'll go ahead and show you all what the Keltner channel pretty much is and how it can be utilized. So, that is the reason why he believes Mullen is up. I personally agree with him. We have no new news at all, and we ran literally on technicals. Where are you? There we go. Okay, we literally ran on technicals all day long. Believe we peaked. Pretty sure we ended up peaking. Let's see, crossing line. I got so many alerts here. It's absolutely. I'm not that drunk. But I do have a nice buzz going. But still, this should not be happening. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and close MACD, close the RSI. We're on the 1 minute time frame. We don't need to be looking at any of that stuff. Not to mention, currently not trading Mullen. It's after hours. It's 4:44 p.m. It is also the last day of the trading week, so it's good that we haven't gotten a new SEC filing, especially from David. Typically, David on the last day of the week, a Friday, typically that's when he would file a lot of negative SEC filings. So I'm taking it as a good thing that we didn't get a new one. So Mullen ended up opening up, or rather, let me back up even further. I still do not own a position on Mullen, and I'll go ahead and tell you why. You can watch my previous videos to really go back in my history. I've been in and out of this stock, and I've lost so much money on this stock. Personally, well over 6 figures I've lost. I don't know if I'm ever going to get my money back, but right now I'm just currently looking for a good entry position to start swinging Mullen. And then I also have more cash on the side if Mullen drops apocalyptic, or actually, I shouldn't say apocalyptic. Mullen drops bullish biblical news. Yes, biblical, not apocalyptic. Biblical, great news. So I can throw it, stuff at it and potentially maybe get a lot of my money back. So, as I said in this video today, or rather this morning if you saw it, our resistance pivot levels, which you can go ahead and find these on a bar chart. If you type in bar chart on Google, and if you go ahead and look, all the pivot levels were, first of all, above the all-time low. That's extremely good, especially when dealing with Mullen. They're extremely tight. I believe this is where we can actually, hang on, let's go ahead and switch to the 5-minute candle. Pretty much consolidate this a little bit. Okay, so if we were to go ahead and look at the price range here, Mullen ended up opening up, I believe, like 1% over. So they were already open near the R1. And I was just watching it all today, and every single time that I have bought in on Mullen, for no reason that they started running at all, for no reason, I've always lost money. It's always crashed the next day, and from there, it just does not do good things, which is absolutely terrible for bullish people. If Mullen gives us, if Mullen drops collection of revenue, production update, there is no reason to be bearish on the stock. No reason at all. But today peaked, ended up, I believe it was like over 27% on the day. Really good. I use EMAs because I primarily day trade, exponential moving averages. So if you see this, this is my favorite type of setup, especially for scalping. If you use these EMAs, the 9, 21, 48, 200, which is the most used EMAs by day traders, scalpers, and also swing traders, then you're going to be in a good position because other people are looking for this as well. I love this setup. I love trading this setup. Market ended up opening, and I'm just watching. And I see Mullen basically pretty much climb well above like 5%. And I'm like, it's going to be a trap. It just, I don't really think it could go. And then I just see the EMAs forming. I stayed out. Sometimes the best option is really just staying out of Mullen. But if you are still invested in Mullen, and by the way, I'm not an FA. I'm just a small fish in a big pond that's been annihilated by this stock. But I've learned a lot in the last 2 years, significantly. Plus, last year, I did go to a day trading academy, and I learned all this stuff. And I really wish I knew all this stuff when I first started trading Mullen, March of 2022. I think I probably would have a lot more money in my fucking stock portfolio. But then again, something great could be happening. So I'm a optimistic human being. And I'm still saying my prayers for David Mitchery. Because if good things happen to David, that means good things happen to all of us. You got to keep that. If you wish the guy would keel over and leave this universe, maybe Mullen falls apart, But if you wish good things to happen in David, such as David may get a big deal and Mullen goes up and David is worth more money, which means we're worth more money. The stock is so. Like I said, keeping the vibes positive, but I was just watching Mullen the entire day, and if you see a pitchfork form, like, I kid you not, like 90% of the time this setup like works, the pitchfork setup. Now, it's how you play it. I saw the pitchfork forming right as soon as we got over the R3, and I just said to myself, and I'm scanning, I'm looking on everywhere, and I'm like, there has to be news, maybe something. If it's not a short attack, because there was a tremendous amount of volume, but the stock price moved up. When shorts were getting in a couple days ago, there was a tremendous amount of volume and the stock price moved down. So, just because there's volume on a stock doesn't necessarily mean it's good. But today's volume gave us a 19%, almost 20% gain. And we did drop a little bit in after hours, but it looks like we pushed up more. Mullen right now in after hours is, what is it? Come on, refresh. It's down 1.92%, but on the day it's up near 20%. That's phenomenal. Absolutely amazing for Mullen. So, if we go ahead and look at this, what can this basically pretty much be from? Because on a 5-minute time frame, a 1-minute time frame, this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. This feels amazing. But if we go to the daily time frame, and this is where that I'm going to tell you why that I agree with Business Dad. If we go to the daily time frame now, and firstly on the daily time, I got so many alerts. Or let me go back. Okay, so I got 2 alerts going right now to the downside. And it looks like Mullen, I actually don't know why these alerts did not happen. I think I maybe got them on my phone. So, let's go ahead and magnify this area. This is what I see personally. I see a double bottom, we touch the double bottom again, and if you draw a line, you basically get this 3 double bottom bullish. So, as we move into Monday, we got a bullish area. And the reason why we started this double bottom over here at 11:45 is because we ended up breaking this resistance area of 525-ish, this one candle. Broke above it, pushed up, had to push back a little bit, boom, tried it again, and we're up. Push back a little bit, boom. Peaked at 28%. We got red knifed here, and I honestly thought the entire day was over, and I'm just watching, pushed up a little more. Still below the 35 mil market cap, but we gained a lot today, which is really good. Significantly really good. So we do have support now at this $5 area, which is extremely good. This is really good this happened. And if you draw this out, hopefully you see the same thing as me. So we did break this, but like I said, these things don't have to be totally accurate. Like if you look at the first double bottom here, the first double bottom, we ended up, it was all over. We wicked down, we pushed up, we wicked back down, we pushed up, there was a wick. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's basically just in the same area. Very rarely do I ever see it's a double bottom in double top, like absolutely perfect. Very rarely. But from my personal point of view, this is bullish. It's all about what happens on Monday. Easter Monday, I believe the stock market is open. Yep. Okay, so now let's go ahead to the daily time frame. And let's go ahead and take away these EMAs. Take away the EMAs. Okay, RSI on the daily time frame, 42, still bullish. I mean, RSI is looking up. I don't really look at the MACD so much on a daily time frame. However, I will say the MACD is also, it's a buy signal. If the green line crosses the red line, that's basically the MACD 101. But when you have multiple indicators all pointing up, I don't use, I'm going to butcher this word, stochasticus. Please drop a like on this video if you know what I'm talking about. Stochastics. Typically, you would have that, the MACD, RSI, or some traders like the other way. The RSI on top, MACD in the middle, a stochastics in the bottom. But I personally don't, looking at the MACD, looking at the RSI, I get a very good gist and feel of what is on the daily time frame. Are these drawings? Let's see. Yep, they are drawings. Okay. Let me go ahead and take away some of this really quick. This is how long I've been following Mullen. I got so much stuff here. Okay. So, damn, everything's going off. Okay, so we got no news. And as you see on the daily time frame, we just challenged this red candle. So we just challenged 19 March, last Tuesday, I believe. So we just challenged this candle, and we're like, hey, we're challenging you. We're either going to get another green candle and challenge this red day, or maybe just some type of green candle and continue pushing up. That would be beautiful. That would basically pretty much be inverse head and shoulders bullish. You can basically see pretty much like the head forming here, and if we can get back up here, whether we may push down, we may actually fail, but if we get back in this area, the high sixes, that would put us such in a good position. Because even if we pull back down to the high fives, we can eventually break potentially a double top that we could form on this inverse head and shoulders. So it depends what happens on Monday. But right now, I'm currently not buying in. But me personally, if I see that chart pattern forming, that could potentially be extremely bullish. Which is really good, especially for anyone still holding a fairly large position with a high cost-based average. Ugh. Ugh. Woo! Second, I need another Modelo. Alright, anyways, hopefully you're still watching this video with me. But now we're going to get into why Business Dad believes that this is the reason why we popped today, along with me. I don't use the Keltner channel. It's really good, especially if you're looking on stocks on a bigger time frame. On a day trading time frame, the EMAs, the exponential moving averages, are so much better. So much better. It's especially if you're scalping as well. Another thing that I want to really say, anyone out here, anyone that uses a VWAP, I was looking at the VWAP throughout today, and we just had beautiful. The middle line is the VWAP. The top line, bottom line is the Bollinger bands. If you want more education on the VWAP, I could go ahead and make some videos maybe. Otherwise, you can just literally Google and find articles on it. But obviously, if we're trending above the actual VWAP, there's massive volume. Massive volume here. And then, of course, we went above the top band, which is just insane volume, but we have to pull back. And that's another reason, and it's ironically, we ended up crashing to the actual VWAP today. Forgot to mention that also. But if we go ahead, even if we do look at the VWAP in a daily time frame, actually, no, I'd rather just look at the Keltner channel. Let's look on the Keltner channel. Okay. So, Keltner channel, like I said, I do not use the Keltner channel, but it is extremely helpful. Let's go ahead and make the lower one white. Okay. Now our Keltner channel looks like Business Dad's Keltner channel. And if you see, or maybe Business Dad's Keltner channel is a little bit different than ours. The settings might be a little different on his. But anytime that we are so far away that we drift out of this bottom band, think of bands like magnets. Anytime that we push so far away, we have to come back. We have to. But it's not fundamentally, it's not voodoo magic, it's technicals. There are thousands of people out there that look at stocks and be like, hey, this stock is very far away from the Keltner channel. We basically drifted into no man's land, and now we're getting closer and closer, and boom, we got a pop. Believe it or not, there are traders out there that look for this symbol right here, this triangle box formation, And they trade stocks that way. They don't trade stocks as momentum plays, kind of like as news. Mullen is a momentum news type play, but they go pure off technicals, whether there is news or not. So we had a ton of people buying in today because of this reason. And yes, Mullen, ironically, Business Dad made a video on Mullen a couple days ago talking about this. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people out there bought in and said, yeah, there's a good chance that Mullen's going to pop. And if we go ahead and if we go further back and we look at this, it's not voodoo magic. This is just how it is. The Keltner channel, obviously, I believe, is the middle band, is the basis, it's called. And you have these upper bands, kind of like the VWAP. As you see, we will drift closer and closer, and then break down, and then break further and further and farther away. And then eventually we create a downward trend in this channel. But once we end up breaking, we gotta pop. And if you see over here, back in January when we started forming this double bottom, we ended up breaking and we had a pop. Now, it's very unfortunate that back in January we pretty much did this, but we ultimately did break this resistance for 2-3 days. Can Mullen do the same thing? Can they do another break above and create this inverse head and shoulders? They could. Anything's possible, especially with news. But if there is going to be a sell-off on Monday, it could very well look something like this, where we could just consolidate, trade downwards a little bit, and then get back up and boom, try to get over again. And if we fail, then it's where they're going up or down, or sideways as well. So that's the reason why Business Dad pretty much said, hey, Mullen's below this Keltner channel, and they end up popping. Let's go ahead and find a. Okay, here's another situation too. We broke above it, boom, we had to get a pop up. We broke above this one, boom, we got a big pop up all the way back to the channel, the basis, the middle. We broke above this band too, back in 23 October, and then we had to get back up and we had to get close to the middle before we could continue down. We have to, we cannot stay away from these lines so often. They're magnets. And a lot of people make so much money by doing this. It's incredible. The Day Trading Academy was ran by seven-figure traders. I believe one of them, that the head analyst was a 8-figure trader. And this is all they do. It's absolutely crazy. Now, what's really sad on Mullen is that we have not had a break above the top. We've always broken above the bottom and pushed up. We have not had a break above the top band, and it's Jesus. Please. This is just so, yeah, right here. I've made a video about this. Massive dilution. Massive dilution started February 2023. That's when David Mitchery sold his shares. We haven't been up to the top band in about a year. Actually, over a year. This is just absolutely, this is so pathetic. It's just, I would be, maybe that's why David doesn't go on like Fox Business, other types of because I mean, it's not even Jim Cramer can defend anything about this at all. We have not been on the top Keltner channel in over a fucking year. Now, can Mullen get back to $8,000 to $9,000 a share? No, that's not going to happen. I'm so sorry. But I will probably make another video, maybe tomorrow or this weekend, talking about a re-situation of maybe a short squeeze. I did make a video. It's the first one that I posted. However, obviously my opinion now has changed. So I do have, if Mullen were to squeeze by getting the mother of all news, I do have a price range in mind. It's definitely not in the thousands. And I'm so sorry to disappoint anyone, but it's definitely, yeah. And I'll say this: it's definitely not in the hundreds. But it's it's significantly up there. And if Mullen does get back to that, hopefully we all make a decent amount of money back. If you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a like. And if you are watching these videos and enjoy it, feel free to subscribe. We do have a handful of sexy subs. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Drink beer.